Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're at LEGOLAND California to share with you everything that you need to know to visit LEGOLAND in 2024. So let's get going. Our first tip for you is to arrive at rope drop. But what is rope drop? Well, let's talk about it. The park opens at 10 a.m., but the gate to actually let you in opens much earlier than that. And they'll let you into this area right here. This is called the beginning, and you can fill up this whole area and check out the market over there, possibly purchase reserve and ride ahead of time, which is located to our right. I don't know if the big shop is quite open yet at that time. It's a little after rope drop right now, but you'll be able to stay in this area. And what they do is they actually put a rope over the path over that way to prevent you from getting into the park primarily. And then at 10 o'clock, that rope drops, and then all the people that are gathered here surge forward and go towards their next attraction. So what we mean when we say arrive at rope drop, we mean be here for park opening, which again is 10 a.m. And the reason for this is so that you can avoid long lines at the most popular attractions, because the later in the day it gets, the more people will be in the park. And what are those popular attractions? Well, one of them is right over here. We're heading this direction and we'll show it to you. Everyone is going to one of two places first thing in the morning. The first is behind me. That's the Ninjago ride. The other one is Emmett's Flying Adventure over at Lego Movie World. These are the two most popular rides in the park where everyone's going at rope drop. This morning doesn't actually look too bad over here at the Ninjago ride. Usually I tend to see a lot of people over here in these switchbacks, but you can just walk straight into the ride. This is a solid morning. And that right there is the #1 reason on why to arrive at rope drop, so that you can just walk on rides, because it's gonna be crazy busy later today. After those two attractions, the secondary most popular rides are going to be the Lego Technic Coaster, the Dragon Coaster, and Unikitty's Disco Drop. Our next tip is to consider staying at one of the LEGOLAND hotels. They have two of them. There's the LEGOLAND Hotel and the Castle Hotel. We've stayed at both of them, and both have been a very awesome experience. Outside of that, you get a special perk called early access into the park. Want to get here before rope drop? Early access is the way to go. So what is early access? Well, it's for hotel guests only, and you can get in the park at 9:30 a.m. if the park closes at 5 p.m. If it closes at 6 p.m. or later, you can actually get in starting at 9 a.m., a whole hour early. If you would like to see our review of both of the LEGOLAND hotels, I'm going to put a link down in the description. You can check those out after watching this video. So as of the time of this filming, the only part of the park that is open for early access is actually the eastern side of the park. The Coast Cruise, the Ninjago ride, Bionicle Blaster, and the Technic Coaster. Which means if you are a non-hotel guest, you might actually be better off coming over here to Lego Movie World first. The reason for that is because this area of the park is not open. So whenever you come into the park, there'll be nobody here already. If you go to Ninjago first, it's possible to already be quite a line from the early entry guests. But this morning, the park is just empty, and this is awesome. I've never seen it this great in the morning in a while. And just to let you know, today is January 1st. It's a holiday. It's New Year's Day. But what about rides in the rest of the park? Like Queen Whatever's Carousel here in front of us. I would say that on average, in the middle of the day around 2 p.m., you should expect to wait between 10 and 30 minutes for most rides throughout the park. They're not going to get much busier than that unless we're talking like the Lost Kingdom or Coastersaurus, just because of some slow or low loading capacities. Most of the rest of the rides we haven't mentioned are smaller rides that are friendly for all ages. If you'd like a full in-depth look at the rest of the rides, check out our ride guide, which I'll link to at the end of the video and down in the description. Something that you should be aware of is that in addition to height requirements, some rides also have age requirements. Junior driving school is for ages 3 to 5 and is a smaller version of regular driving school. And the standard driving school is for ages 6 to 13. Other rides with age requirements include Technic Coaster, Bionicle Blaster, and the Royal Joust. What's new at LEGOLAND California in 2024? Well, they're going to be celebrating their 25th Brick Day. That's correct. LEGOLAND California is turning 25 years old, and to celebrate, they're actually going to be bringing a world parade here to Legoland, California, the first parade at a Legoland park in North America, and that's coming in 2024. We have no details on this as of yet, and as soon as we know more, it'll be here on the channel. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to share it with you all. If you visit earlier on in the year, you also see a lot of construction walls up here in the front area of the park. Right behind this wall is the area that used to be Fairy Tale Brook. And across from Coastersaurus, we used to have Safari Trek. There are two rides that are currently closed, but they plan to reopen later on in 2024 as dinosaur-themed attractions. They're changing this whole area to be called Dino Valley to be in line more with, well, Coastersaurus and the Fossil Dig area. So they're gonna make this whole area Dino Valley, and then they're just re-theming those two existing rides. The rides themselves aren't changing. We're just getting a new overlay for them, which is awesome. Next, let's discuss the best time to visit Legoland California. I'm actually quite floored and flabbergasted today that it is an awesome day. I mean, there's still hardly anybody in line for Unikitty behind me, and it's approaching 11 o'clock now. So today, January 1st being amazing is just perfect. What are some other good times of year to visit? Well, off-season is mid-January to the end of February, May to June, and November. They're all solid months to consider visiting Legoland, California. Weekdays are always going to be better than weekends unless that weekday is a holiday like Thanksgiving Day. The busiest times of year are going to be spring break, summer. What is spring break, by the way? Mid-March to the end of April, roughly. Summer in general, July, August, especially 4th of July. September and October are pretty busy because of Brick or Treat, and then the Christmas season as well. A question that I always get about Legoland is, how many days do I need? Well, if you're coming during the off season and it's a colder month, you're probably going to be fine with just a single day at Legoland. But if you're coming during one of the warmer months and you plan to add on the water park hopper option, you're definitely going to need 2 days. When my family and I go to the water park, I feel like we usually are there for about 4 to 5 hours, which when Legoland is only open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's most of the day. So if you want to ride the rides as well, you'll definitely need a second day. If you're going to be coming during busier times of the year, even if you're not going to the water park, you probably are going to need those extra days because of how long the lines can get throughout the park. Speaking of the water park, let's talk more details. The Legoland Water Park is definitely geared towards littler kids. My kids are aged 9 and 6, and they both still have a really great time with it. But if you have a teenager, they may find it to be a little underwhelming. There aren't a whole lot of family thrills, but it's still a good time. Now, the water park is closed right now. It's off season for that. The water park season doesn't begin until March 16th this year. It's actually a week earlier than usual, March 16th. It will be open from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., so shortened hours than normal, and that's just for the opening Saturday, the Sunday, and then the following Friday, the 16th, 17th, and 22nd of March. On the 23rd of March, it opens at their regular hours for 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. But they also have something called the Chima Water Park. Now, based on the sign, you may think that there are two separate water parks, but in fact, the Chima Water Park is a separate area inside the Legoland Water Park. It does not cost extra admission. It's just like a land inside the park. And this area doesn't typically open until summer, so the primary water park will open in March, but we won't see Chima open until probably June sometime. Even if you don't have water park access, they do have this little splash pad in the main part of the park. And for January, I'm surprised that this is open right now. But I did want to mention that there's one ride, Pirate Reef, over there that is actually shared by both the water park and the main theme park. And that ride will get you so wet, they actually have these changing rooms and lockers in the main theme park for you to get changed before you go over there and ride Pirate Reef, because you will get soaked. If you'd like more information about what's going to be open and closed when the Legoland Water Park reopens for the 2024 season, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. My family and I will be here the first weekend, and we'll put out a video shortly thereafter to show you everything you need to know about visiting this year. Here's a tip for you. Don't skip on Granny's apple fries. This is one of the most iconic snacks at Legoland California, and you have to give it a try. What are apple fries? Well, they're fried apples covered in cinnamon with whipped cream for you to dip them in. And oh, are they so good. I'm getting hungry, so let's talk about food. There are 4 main food locations at LEGOLAND California, and one of them is Knight's Smokehouse Barbecue. Oh, and look, here's my family.
Hi.
How convenient that you're here. Now, Knight's Smokehouse Barbecue is my favorite place to eat in all of LEGOLAND California, so we're definitely doing it again here today. They've got a few desserts and sides that you can pick here yourself. Just add them to your tray, and they'll calculate the total at the end. And here is a look at the primary meal options. They do have chicken and ribs. In addition, they have these signature platters, and you can see what each of those items are and the prices. Here's a look at what we got, the Taste of Texas, for about $23 and change. So we have some pulled pork, some smoked brisket, and a jalapeno cheddar hot link. It also comes with 2 buns. This is large enough that Amy and I routinely split this. So for $23, we get 2 adult meals out of it. It's fantastic. And here's a quick look at what one of the kids' meals looks like here at the Smokehouse Barbecue. There are 3 other locations that I consider to be primary eateries here at LEGOLAND California, and one of them is the pizza and pasta buffet behind me. There are other places to get pizza in the park, but this is a pretty awesome deal. For only $24, you get unlimited pizza and pasta, and kids are just $12. Additionally, over in LEGO Movie World, you'll find Everything is Ramen, which offers ramen and rice bowls. Then in Funtown, you'll find Funtown's Urban Kitchen, which has Philly cheesesteaks, chicken or tofu curry, and spicy shrimp fettuccine, among some other things. Throughout the park, you'll find a ton of different food stands and restaurants that sell burgers, chicken tenders, pizza, ice cream, and more. But we're just highlighting the ones that have unique food around the park. If you or a loved one have any special dietary restrictions, LEGOLAND does have a guide online. I'll put a link down in the description that you can check it out. Here's a quick look at it and what it has involved. There is gluten-free options, dairy-free options. They even have vegetarian and vegan options. LEGOLAND isn't just about rides, though. They have a ton of shows and entertainment here. In front of us is the 4D Theater, and they have several different shows that you can check out. There's also several massive play areas throughout the park, like this one, the Lego Ninjago Training Camp. This is just awesome for kids. There's also at least a dozen or more themed build stations throughout the park. You just come in here and build to your heart's content. The king of these build stations being the Lego Ferrari Build and Race. The key feature being this amazing full-size Lego Ferrari. Just grab your own Legos and you too can build a Ferrari car that you can race in the stations behind. When you're done, bring your creation into the racing room, scan it, and they'll actually put your car on the track for you to race around with other people. And we can't forget about Miniland USA, where you can find 5 different cities completely recreated as Lego models. Right ahead is Washington, D.C. You'll also find San Diego, Las Vegas, New York City, LA featuring SoFi Stadium, and finally San Francisco. There is so much live entertainment that you'll come across as you're just walking around the park, like stage shows, dance parties, and brass bands, that I know you're gonna have a good time on your next visit to LEGOLAND California. And finally, don't forget about the SEA LIFE Aquarium. It's small and will only take you about 30 to 45 minutes to completely walk through, but it's packed with tons of unique and amazing animals, and only costs an additional $10 a ticket if you add it on to your full day at LEGOLAND. Well, that's it for our time here today at LEGOLAND California, bringing you the ultimate guide for 2024. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. Then click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.